For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never, ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crying in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
Well, we are facing some calamitous situation brought about by a decision taken by the President of the United States. As we welcome you to another edition of the world's most monitored talk show, and that is NewsSpin on Power 97.9 FM. The broadcast is also on the NewsSpin Facebook page as well as the NewsSpin YouTube channel. We go up until 2 o'clock this afternoon, and no doubt we'll be hearing from you at 452-2979. That's 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. And Amanda also will be going through some of your comments in the chat room. Well, the President of the United States, Donald Trump, delivered that much anticipated address to the global community yesterday afternoon at 4 o'clock. And he took the decision to announce far-reaching tariffs on nearly all trading partners, ranging from 34% tax on imports from China to 20% on the European Union. Guyana will face a 38% tax, and there is a baseline tax of 10%. And the countries like St. Lucia will face that imposition. But how much do we export to the United States? Minuscule. Nothing to talk about. As a matter of fact, there's a trade imbalance between not only St. Lucia and the United States, but the entire Caribbean and the U.S. We'll explain in just a moment. But first, let us hear from the President of the United States, Donald Trump, who is doing everything to offset the global trade imbalance that his country experienced last year of $1.2 trillion.
April 2nd, 2025 will forever be remembered as the day American industry was reborn, the day America's destiny was reclaimed, and the day that we began to make America wealthy again. We're going to make it wealthy, good and wealthy. For decades, our country has been looted, pillaged, raped, and plundered by nations near and far, both friend and foe alike. American steelworkers, auto workers, farmers, and skilled craftsmen, we have a lot of them here with us today. They really suffered gravely. They watched in anguish as foreign leaders have stolen our jobs, foreign cheaters have ransacked our factories, and foreign scavengers have torn apart our once beautiful American dream. We had an American dream that you don't hear so much about. You did 4 years ago, and you are now, but you don't too often, and for many years and decades even, you didn't hear too much about. Our country and its taxpayers have been ripped off for more than 50 years, but it is not going to happen anymore. It's not going to happen.
You got it from the President of the United States, and that is Donald Trump. This will take a direct toll on many of us in St. Lucia. And let's look at it from a basic level. So you have imposed a 34% tariff on China. That's in addition to the previous 20% you had already imposed. So you're looking at 54% in some instances. Walmart, the likes of Amazon and Target, would import various items from China, head to the United States, of course, and those of us in the Caribbean, in St. Lucia in particular, who like to shop online, imagine the price increases that will be imposed on consumers, online consumers in St. Lucia. Brace yourself to face some massive increases as a result of what the President of the United States has just done. And what gets the impression that the President Trump administration will not budge because there's a little wriggling room between the U.S. and China when it comes to discussions. There never is a situation where there's give and take, where there's a revision of actions that are taken. So therefore, one can expect that the U.S. will maintain its stance as far as the imposition of those tariffs on the U.S. Now, China will retaliate as well, and still looking at what will happen with regard to Canada. But regarding the level of trade that is being done between St. Lucia and the U.S., almost next to nothing. St. Lucia exports to the U.S. in 2023 $7.53 million. Mainly involves scrapped copper, hard liquor, processed fruits and nuts, etc. And we import a lot more from the United States when we purchase fruits and vegetables and vehicles and parts for our vehicles and so on. So there is a significant trade imbalance there. What we should be concerned about is the response from the Caribbean community, whether they can have some negotiations with the U.S. on this. But either way, I think it's inevitable that we'll be feeling the impact of those tariff increases, because we're not only trading with the U.S., but the U.S. has to import items from a number of other countries, and those countries fetch those tariffs that will be passed on to us in St. Lucia as consumers. So there will be increases. There's no if or buts about that. What we should be preoccupied with is the response of our authorities in St. Lucia. And the Minister with responsibility for commerce recently at a press briefing announced that some recommendations have been made and they have been forwarded to the Cabinet of Ministers, and the Cabinet will be reviewing those recommendations with a view to determining whether they will be implemented.
The Cabinet Subcommittee met first, and then subsequently we met with the Technical Subcommittee. A report was tabled. It's on the agenda paper today for further discussion. But even after that, the technical committee met last week, and the full committee is again meeting on Thursday, God willing. But as we've started doing our preliminary works, if you've been focusing on the international news, you will realize that there is a statement by President Trump that on Wednesday he's going to impose additional tariffs, and he called it Liberation Day. So as I've said before, this situation is very fluid. One of the things we agreed on as the technical subcommittee is how do we prepare our public for what is happening there and possible implications for all of us. So God willing, Cabinet is going to make some endorsements today, and then we'll be coming out the public announcements. The pace at which we do that is critical for us because it cannot be business as usual.
What are some of the recommendations coming out of the committee?
I cannot discuss it because it's before the Cabinet. It's only after the Cabinet has accepted that we can discuss.
The island's Commerce Minister, Emma Hippolyte, speaking to reporters on Monday of this week during the pre-cabinet press briefing, certainly calls for decisive leadership, because leadership is not only warranted, people are not looked upon to make critical decisions primarily when everything is in a settled state. It's in such circumstances when things go awry, where the decisions taken by a number of other countries, in this case the United States, can seriously impact us, that you want our leaders to come forward with recommendations, with answers, with responses to those issues so that the whatever impact can be ameliorated somewhat. I don't want to hear that there is nothing that we can do about this situation. I don't want to hear from our Commerce Minister that we should leave it to God. We have leaders, we have a society, we have a country to run. Let us do the utmost to ensure that the impact of this decision by the United States will not unduly disrupt life in St. Lucia. We will have to take some strong action, take some tough decisions, but it certainly calls for the kind of leadership at this point in time that would determine the outcome of our attitude, our responses, and so on. And this certainly has to be led by the authorities. There is something happening at the St. Lucia Civil Service Association, because today there is an extraordinary general meeting that will be taking place, and that is at the national, I think it's at the CDF. It commences at about 4:45 this afternoon. The meeting has been convened by Thekla Goodman, who is the president of the Civil Service Association, as per Article 6.7ai of the CSA's amended constitution. And she has been in office for close to 1 year. And at the time she was elected, she spoke about ensuring that, the CSA became or is brought to some level of unity, and to address some of the ills that were affecting that organization over several years. So let us listen to her moments after she was elected as the president of the Civil Service Association.
I look forward and I'm happy that members gave me the opportunity to lead for the next 2 years with a brilliant executive. I want to say thank you to everyone. And we now have to unite and rebuild our CSA. First order of business for me is for us to repair our buildings, because that is home for us. Our brothers and sisters we need our home. So that is, for me, priority. That is where we assemble. That is where we hash out our differences. That is where our issues are heard. And for me, that is priority, to get our building up and running.
A very much under pressure president of the Civil Service Association, Tekla Goodman. And the agenda of the meeting, today's meeting, is as follows. The meeting called to order. Then you have prayers, the President's address, State of our Union, and to make decisions on the best way forward for the Civil Service Association, followed by discussions. My information is all is not well with the St. Lucia Civil Service Association. We'll have providing you with more information as they become available. Let's open the lines right now to take your calls at 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Also, St. Lucia has recorded another homicide. We have our first call in line via WhatsApp. Good afternoon to you. You are on the air.
Good afternoon, Mr. Tim.
Hi, good afternoon to you, caller.
Mr. Tim, I'm at job site doing some welding and I just listened to your program. Mr. Tim, the message I live in for the Labour Party. You see, you all sell all our land for the Chinese people. And look right now, the Trump coming down hard on the Lucian people or the Caribbean people, but I'm talking about St. Lucian people. So supposing, right, when them people come down, they can't find a piece of property and we don't even know what to do with our, we don't know what they do with our money. Secondly, the Labour Party, Trump did not come with that kind of talk. And we was having shortage of sugar, was having shortage of flour, little things like that. So, Lucian, brace yourself for us to move that Labour Party in office. You know what I'm saying? For better our country and better ourselves. You know, I kind of like shaking. I always call in your program because when I listening to what you're saying about Trump and things like that, and I seen it, the Prime Minister and them and the Minister of St. Lucia Labour Party, instead they come together. It's a TMAT. You know why? Because we put them there, you know, and they could eat their snappers. They could eat their blue marlin and we vote them there. And whilst we put them there, we can't even have money to buy a pound of chicken back, much less a boy sardine. Let's up there, my brother.
Same to you, sir. Thank you so much for calling. 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Somebody says there, with the new hotel construction project in progress at Redri, I'm wondering if there are no artifacts in the area that the National Trust should be concerned about. They were very vocal during construction of the golf course on the other side. Don't hold your breath. Don't expect to hear from the St. Lucia National Trust on issues of that nature. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Again, 716-2026. Amanda, good afternoon to you. Let's find out what is happening in the chat room.
Good afternoon, Tim. Good afternoon, NewsSpinners. First off, Tim, I just wanted to apologize for the language I used yesterday. I was not privy to the word, or should I say the English definition of the word. But I do apologize, and it won't happen again.
I never anticipated. So who convinced you to apologize? Somebody convinced you to do that?
No, I just thought I should when I got the meaning of the word. It was a bit so.
I don't think you should have. That's you. You've made your decision to apologize, but it is part of the language, is Creole and so on. So, but I understand it from your perspective.
It's very disappointing on my side, though. I grew up in Choiseul and I don't know what's that word.
All right.
Okay. As we continue, so a few comments from the chat room. Someone says there, higher prices, more tax for the government. A comment reads, yes, all those who said he would only target illegal immigrants. How did we become USA illegal immigrants all the way in local Europe? And NewsSpinner says that the object of life is not to be on the side of the majority, but to escape finding oneself in the ranks of the insane. Marcus Aurelius, insanity wears suits and Prada. Another comment reads, our government will have a reason to continue to add as much 2.5 as they want and blame it on the US tariffs. Brace yourself, St. Lucians. Someone says there, and you believe this, his economic advisors did not take that into consideration. Some of these arguments are so simplistic. Another comment reads, unity now more than ever. The Caribbean needs a united front because the ride ahead will be rough. Another comment reads, I'm not selling no more of my cars because it will be very expensive. Okay. Someone says here, so Emma, you're relying on news to put strategies in place to deal with such issues. Where is our Ministry of Foreign Affairs? Why are they so quiet on all of this global dispute? I believe the person was trying to say.
All right, let's take a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air. Hello.
Hey, Tim. Tim, good day. How are you
Hi.
doing?
Good afternoon to you, caller. I'm okay.
Yeah, Tim, somebody mentioned the National Trust, and right away I got my feathers, my neck feathers were raised, Tim. We have a La Paradis situation happening at Cornell's, Tim. And for some time now, I've been given notice of that. But not a word from the government. Not a word from National Trust. Now, the reporters, our local reporters, if we have any left, have not taken the opportunity to go down to Cornell's. Although I have photos, I can send it to them because my investigators on the scene have visited the scene and have sent me several photos, Tim. I can furnish NewsSpin with some. Now that the Chinese are now putting up a gate, and a big iron gate across the road, the Cornell's entrance, which to my mind is illegal. So I'm calling on Richard Frederick. Now I'm calling names at him because I know they are public. It was made public that they are going to fight against Jack when Jack is putting restrictions on the way to the beach. So I'm calling on Christopher Hunt. I'm calling Richard Frederick, Dr. King, the National Trust people. I'm calling all of them. If they don't have transport, I'm giving them transport. We're going down to Cornell's this evening, Tim. You're invited to come. I'm calling on Mr. Ernest Sile. I want him there too. And Philippe Pierre. I want them to come to see what our passport money has earned us. All the people who are supporting or pretending that CIP is not what it is now. I want them to come down to Cornell's this evening on the train. I'm providing free transport. Sean Edwards said he's giving the prisoners free transport from Baudelaire. You have not found a coaster. Sean Edwards, I want you to come too. Let us go to Cornell's too this evening. Let us come and see what 1.2 billion US dollars have built for us in Cornell's. Tim, it's a shame. It's a shame that what happened in St. Kitts is being allowed to happen here. Mind you, there are cases going on in St. Kitts, but there is not one case going on here except the injunction brought by Alan Chastney. If it wasn't for that injunction, CIP is going on untouched. And all the players in CIP are there like they all St. Lucians. No explanation for CIP, including the Prime Minister and the Met Yotut, the Met Boda, Ernest Sile. Thank you very much, Tim.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for calling. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. And let me see if I have any of your WhatsApp messages to go through while we continue to await your calls. Let's see if we have a call on the landline at 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Let me see there. We have some comments that were made during yesterday's program. Let me see if I could access some of them. In the meantime, any comments in the chat room, Amanda?
Just a few, Tim. Someone says here, now is the time to bring down the gas prices, and now is the time to bring down taxes and remove the 2.5 levy and the high cost of living. Commentary reads, the Team National Trust just cares about their pockets. And NewsSpin says here, has CARICOM issued a statement about the tariffs? Now the comment reads, Tim, do we still have a Ministry of Foreign Affairs? Someone says there exactly. And this has been a hot topic from January. Why weren't they being proactive? I guess attacking Schaffner is more important than this. Now the comment reads, how sadly ironic is it when you have Chinese nationals blocking a road to the beach in St. Lucia? If that doesn't make you mad, then what does? Back to you, Tim.
Thank you so much. Let's see if you have a call on the landline at 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. In the meantime, via WhatsApp, somebody says, Tim, the silence of our government speaks volumes. What a disappointing group of people. If our St. Lucian people don't see the light after such disregard and disrespect, well, shaking my head. A call on the landline. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Tim, good afternoon, Tim. At one time, I thought you were not taking my call.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
The time, you know?
I would never do such a thing, sir.
I don't think I'm just pricking your mind.
Right.
In your preamble, I heard you speak about the tariffs which President Trump imposed on the world. And I think it's going to be a hardship for both the Americans as well as us living in St. Lucia and within the Caribbean. In fact, the world. Hardship in the world. The Americans do not manufacture everything. The Americans do not have all the raw materials to manufacture. So when you do put these tariffs and you have to import, it's going to affect your people. The middle class and the poorer people will actually feel it. The middle class and the poor will feel the blunt of it. In the Caribbean, most of our products come from the U.S. Yeah, it's true we get products from China. Okay, most of our products come from the U.S. A lot of the products which come from the U.S. is not manufactured in the U.S.
Yeah.
It's manufactured in other countries. So it means that when we order here, we will be paying higher prices. With what is happening here, with what's happening with the tariff now, China will be the king. China is going to be the most successful country in the world because China provides everything with the fines which Trump wants to introduce on vessels made in China carrying goods to the U.S. All they're going to do is bypass the U.S. and probably get a transshipment port within the Caribbean, although they do some of it in Panama, and just send all the goods into that transshipment port. And then our merchants will, at the end of the day, will purchase through these ports or purchase in China, and vessels will now come into the other ports like Panama. And so, although Trump is trying to get Panama, it will come through Panama and come through our islands. And those goods will be landed into our islands at a better cost. Now there are certain things a government can do to relieve our solution. There are different taxes. They may have to just reduce on those taxes or remove them altogether, like the 2.5 levy, like a reduction in customs duties and those kind of things. You know, it can happen. The port itself can reduce on certain things. Although I know the port is all stressed or is all stretched now because the port services now, I mean, it's the worst I have seen since I am around the port, around customs and whatnot. The port is in a total mess. And I don't even want to speak about it. When the time comes, I will speak about it because I think the chamber should take the lead on that right now. But again, a lot of Momo tablets are taken. You have little meetings there for the companies. The merchants are not saying nothing, but they are feeling it. Now they won't say anything because the cost is being passed on to the consumers. Tim, the world is upside down now. CARICOM, even though you try to buy own your CARICOM product, they still get the raw material from outside of St. Lucia. So I tell you, at the end of the day, the most successful country in the world is going to be China. And mark it from me, and expect a civil war from the U.S. at any time soon. That's what I have to say this afternoon.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing your opinion with us. 452-2979. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. You can also call via WhatsApp and send us your WhatsApp messages. 716-2026. Another call online via WhatsApp. Good afternoon. You are on the air.
Messages 716-2026.
Hello, good afternoon to you, caller.
Hello, good afternoon, team. How are you?
I'm okay, sir. How about you?
Yes, the crisis facing the globe, as per President Trump's action, requires us to look at each household independently. Households will now have to be more efficient in terms of how they use electricity, water, how they shop, and whether they develop community gardens to be able to feed ourselves. It's not about negotiating with anybody at this point in time. It's about developing a set of strategies to allow us to overcome the challenges that face us. And there are tools out there, for example, operations and supply chain management provides us with those tools. However, we have to strive to be more efficient, more effective, and add value to everything that we do. There's nothing like a free dollar in this world right now. We have to be efficient in terms of producing what we promise to produce on time within cost. We have to be effective in terms of doing it better than anyone else. But to accompany that, the government must now look at a new investment regime. How are we using our economic resources, our land, our people, and our capital? Are we going to continue with the investment by invitation strategy? Or will government start looking inwards and develop ways of collaborating with solutions, with the talent, the ideas, and the brains to bring about new products and services into the island? And I'm talking about on a macro basis. And government comes in now and facilitate those people by providing the land which belongs to us and should be provided to us based on best use. So this will require a new cultural approach to governance and living in St. Lucia. If not, things are going to get worse, and each person is going to take things into their own hands and survive. But I believe and I have confidence in ourselves as a people that we can ride it once victimization is out of the way, once discrimination is out of the way, once biasness and jealousy is out of the way, and once we understand that we as a people have to come together to combine our resources to go through the crisis. It's inevitable. You know, Trump, even if Trump reverses everything now, the damage is there. Thank you, and Amanda, have a great day.
Same to you, sir. Thank you so much for calling. 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. Still to come, more of your calls. We'll be hearing from the opposition. An opposition member cites problems with regard to the agricultural sector, and that is in light of the tariff impositions and what is required as far as our responses are concerned. And the island has recorded another homicide.
KFC has done it again! Introducing the Wow Box, the ultimate meal deal that'll have you saying wow! For just $23, you get one crispy, juicy KFC sandwich, one piece of finger-licking good chicken, a serving of hot golden fries, more flavor, more crunch, more wow! All in one box! Hurry to KFC and grab yours now! Dine in, drive-thru, or order online at kfcslu.com. KFC, it's finger-licking good!
Lazarus's funeral home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbutai at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
Lucilex remote options are available to serve you every weekday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. daily. Call or send a WhatsApp message to 285-6796, 285-7859, 285-3593, or send an email to customersupport@lucilec.com for assistance. Lucilec encourages you to use the available options for doing business with us remotely.
I've seen you here before, and I have something special just for you. What have we here? Happy housewarming to me? That's the MNC Home Depot Rewards Card. You'll earn points every time you shop, plus exclusive savings and promotions just for you. Just for me? Yes, just for you. Shop in store or online and enjoy a seamless experience. So I get to treat myself every time I shop? Exactly. It's time to reward yourself.
MNC Home Depot and Sunbelt Rewards Card. Sign up and reward yourself today at www.mnchomedepot.com.
So fast pay, a new and easy way to pay. So fast pay, so fast pay.
You asked for it and you got it. A quicker way to pay your bills online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow is now offering FastPay, an online service that allows you to settle your bills in less than 2 minutes. Need a receipt? FastPay will send it to your email immediately. Use FastPay now for convenience, safety, and efficiency at discoverflow.co/fastpay.
So fast pay, 2 minutes and you're on your way. So fast pay, so fast pay.
Flow is keeping you connected.
Stop. How much more pain can you take? Back pain, blinding headaches, numbness, weak knees, spinal injuries, stroke. You've tried everything. Nothing works. Enough. La Clinique du Corps has the experts and technology to diagnose and fix the problem permanently. Our specialist doctors use cutting-edge solutions to treat back pain, knee pain, sciatica, stroke recovery, spinal injuries, arthritis, heel pain, and more. With advanced pain management techniques, we provide fast, effective relief so you can live pain-free. La Clinique du Corps is an approved universal healthcare service provider in St. Lucia, accepting all approved insurance. Take back your life. Call La Clinique du Corps right now at 451-6559 to book your appointment. Pain stops here.
Essie, don't tell me that tire flat again. I just changed that tire.
Wait, what? You just changed that tire?
Well, I bought a used one because you didn't give me enough money.
Oh, I see. Well, you know what? Chivi's Tire Shop only carry brand new quality tires at affordable prices with free installation.
Hey, it seems you're working at Chivi's Tire Shop. How you know all that?
Come on, Brenda. The tire shop down the road from our home in the American Drywall Building.
Oh, yes. I forgot. Well, you know what, Patrick? Let's go there right now. Take your wallet. Let's go.
Chivi's Tire Shop, located at the American Drywall Building, Vidbutai. Call or WhatsApp 584-5986. Chivi's Tire Shop. Pay less, drive more.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
On Sunday, May 4th,
It's a party under the pitons. Suffrage Jazz, the ultimate experience. MTX Band, Slide. Other Hour. Rebel 7, DYP, Former Nappy. Going to War. T-Vice and headliner Busy Signal. Party with us, dine with us, stay with us for Suffrage Jazz, the ultimate experience. Tickets are only $150 EC. You can choose to elevate your experience at our VIP village for only $400 EC. The best value for money, the best vibes in the most exquisite location. Tickets available from the Cell Outlets Island Wine, SRDF office in Sucre, and www.fourcirclestickets.com. Sunday, May 4th, Sucre Mini Stadium. Suffrage Jazz, the ultimate experience.
This is the most monitored talk show, NewsSpin, on Power 97.9 FM. The broadcast is also on the NewsSpin Facebook page as well as the NewsSpin YouTube channel. Something seems to be developing at La Place Carénage. I have a WhatsApp message which reads, taxi drivers are locked out of the parking area and they pay $100. For daily, the mayor has told them there is nothing she can do. This comes at the end of the tourism season with 2 cruise ships in port tomorrow. Taxi drivers are concerned about their livelihood and fear of being charged by police tomorrow for parking along the road in order to get trips. So if somebody is listening from Courtesy Taxi or the relevant taxi associations, they could call this broadcast right now to clarify that issue. We have a call via WhatsApp. Okay, we'll lose that call. 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Let's find out what's happening in the chat room. Amanda, over to you.
A few comments from earlier, Tim. Someone says here, the people are the ones to protest. Don't wait for National Trust to do anything. They are with the government. Another comment reads, the Prime Minister never hear anything, so don't ask him anything. A NewsSpinner says, I recall China need America because America is the biggest consumer-based country. Another comment reads, caller, stop the flubbles, do not like... Someone says, anything manufactured here in the US is sold at ridiculous prices versus a product manufactured in China, Vietnam, or Taiwan. A commentary reads, Trump is doing what's best for his country. Caller, clearly you do not understand this. You think Trump and his persons don't know there will be a fallout? And NewsSpinner says that Trump has created the recipe for a global recession. Another comment reads, it is time for St. Lucians to stop talking. The politicians are riding high and don't give a rat's tail about the little noise coming from the people. It's way time for an action, people. Someone says that CARICOM is so ineffective, it has long become a talk shop. Another comment reads, given this developing crisis, rest assured that PJP will not send $50 million to Canada to create our budget. Someone says that Alan Shaftney should be in office now as PM. He would know what to do, just like he brought the country safely during COVID.
We have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air.
First of all, Tim, I want to ask you why you thought there was need to admonish Amanda.
Because Rick, let's move on. I don't want to belabor that particular point. It's done. It's done. Hello.
Lighten up. You think I'm going to call you?
No. I just don't want to stray and that will become the issue. That will be the tenor of the whole show. It will become the tenor of the whole show.
I need to have a giggle. What was the Creole word?
I can't remember. Well,
you know, Tim. Since you won't tell me anyway, it was meant to be a little laugh, lighten up. I just want to remind you that this is the season of apologies.
Yeah. So, but that's why I told her there's any need to apologize. Just move on.
Not really, Tim. If a word is mispronounced, and it means so much to our culture.
Yeah.
And we on the radio and whatever. If we mispronounce the word.
Because for me, Rick, that was so much of a non-issue. I mean, in light of all that's happening around the world, the globe, and so on, I didn't want to focus on that today. I really didn't want to. So I was caught off guard when she apologized.
Well, I need to have respect for my culture, and when words are mispronounced, I need to know the correct Creole pronoun.
No, it wasn't mispronounced. I think people took it that it was too explicit, a little derogatory. But it was Creole.
Oh.
It was Creole.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
On a very serious note, do you think we don't know how to at least ameliorate, and have known for the longest while? That's why I'm saying ameliorate and not curb. Our problems, the main problems we have in this country. Do you think we didn't have ample time considering them and taking steps to avoid them?
Yes, because we have been discussing those issues at various levels over several decades, whether it's at the local level, whether it's at the regional level in terms of CARICOM and OECS, or whether we discuss those issues when we attend World Bank and International Monetary Fund meetings. So we've been grappling with the same issues over several years, only that we did not see the necessity to challenge them head on because we did not see them as serious threats.
They didn't see them as serious threats, or they turned their head away?
Maybe they did both. Maybe they did both.
I mean, I heard somebody say, what we need now is Caribbean unity. That's not funny?
It is, in light of the fact that we've been discussing this over several decades. I mean, even the Calypsonians, whether St. Lucia and Trinidad and so on, have been preaching unity in song over several decades. But do we practice what we preach and what we sing? Hell no. We only like to react to various events and circumstances. And somehow, take for example, COVID-19. We were able to come up with various prescriptions and recommendations and ideas how to address issues in the health sector and have daily meetings. And now that COVID is, it is reduced somewhat in terms of the impact on people and so on, we do not pay the kind of attention that is needed in other health-related areas.
It's a lot worse than that. Last night I was listening to an African woman, and I forget who she is. I'm so sorry I didn't take her name because she's quite a thing, African woman. And she was pointing out that, talking Trump, USAID and all these things, she said she's glad to see USAID go and whatnot, and painting a pretty dismal picture of corruption with all these aid programs that we get from these different countries. That the people who really benefit from those things are, the politicians. The politicians are at the root of every single problem in St. Lucia and to a large extent other parts of the world. The wars are caused by politicians, and the people are the fodder. The people fight the wars, or they get blown away privately in their homes with their children. More often than not, the politicians are in bunkers and well taken care of. They have money as hell, etc., etc. Tim, why have we displayed such scant interest, for example, in our CIP program? The CIP program was always an invitation for corruption. We always knew that. We said that even before it got going. That's why we talk so much about due diligence, and that's why the politicians persuaded the country that due diligence was under control. Now, politicians in this country can always guarantee to have at least half the population behind whatever they do. Is that right or wrong?
Yeah, you're correct on that.
So when you have half the country complicit in its own destruction, where are you going to? And by the way, we just take turns, and that's why I'm saying politicians. because I don't want anybody to think that I believe the EWP. There's a lot of stuff went on in the days of Compton that should have been blocked. For example, I wrote a particular story, and these things come back to bite us in the butt, you know. Like Martin Luther King, if I may put myself in his shoes, if I may dare, I have been to the mountaintop, you know, and what was it said? I might not, you might not see it with me, I might not take it with, I might not take you with me, but I've seen it, whatever. Then I am closer to that particular door by far than I am to the arrival door.
Yes.
And so I have those kind of moments when I stop to think. I'm in pretty good health, actually. Pretty good health, except for my walking. I'm in pretty good health. But there are times when I say, well, I've done almost everything anybody could yearn after doing. Any ambition people could have, I've had mine. Every single one of them I have accomplished. And I brag and I feel good about it. That all my little dreams as a boy, I was able to achieve them at the highest level. And I am lucky enough at my age to be pretty lucid, to think things that have not been thought before, etc. And I take advantage of that particular situation to tell St. Lucians they're a bunch of shits. We have all screwed up our country, and we continue to screw up this wonderful, beautiful environment we have. We have effed up everything by pandering to politicians of one color or another. We are starving for intellectual stimulation. We're starving for food. We're eating crap, imported crap from the United States, and we get all the American diseases. So we, in effect, are starving ourselves to death because we're eating crap. So you might as well not be eating. Where are all those foods we produced when I was growing up as a boy, and when you were growing up as a boy? And say, where are those foods? You know how many millions the Taiwanese have handed us, Tim?
Not only the Taiwanese, well, the
I want to pick on one.
Yeah, in the case of agriculture, millions, yes, close to billions that they have provided us.
Now, Tim,
but what
really?
the question is, Rick, what do we have to show for it? And if I'm ignorant of that fact, maybe somebody from the Ministry of Agriculture can call and enlighten us on this.
You're anticipating me, but the people at those ministries are the worst of all, the worst success, because these people should all be on contract, and depending on their performance, get rid of them. They are the biggest bugs and leeches in our society, those permanent secretaries and whatever else offices they have where their jobs are guaranteed. The public services are a guaranteed den of iniquity. Nobody can say wonderful things about this public service except politicians who take our money and give it to those guys for back pay. For what? Back pay for what? Who is satisfied? Not even the politicians are genuinely satisfied with the work of most of the public service. But they want to kiss their ass because they believe that they have effect on the voting and whatever. That's what they believe. And we sit by like monkeys and applaud it if we are on red or if we are yellow. We are our own worst enemies. So the Compton said in his time, St. Lucians love to moan about things, but they never ask themselves what should be done about it or how it came that way. He said, because the answer to that, the finger will be pointing back at us. Mm-hmm. And it's a fact. Everything that is wrong in this country has either been done by us as individuals, by us collectively, or by us as party hacks. Every single thing. So how do you turn this country around? You've always lived off crumbs. You have always been a crumb eater. Hard to say, but it's true. Everything we've done here has fallen off the table of the white man. And that's another one we don't like to hear. The white man. The African woman, I was watching this stupid thing last night and they brought it to my attention. You know, the woman is complaining that Africa has everything. And Africa has minerals and stuff that nowhere else in the world. And yet America, these white people, and I'm not being racist. It's not a race thing, you know, I'm not into that race thing. But I want to make it, in this instance, Africans, black Africans, are not really in control by all accounts of what they have. USAID, the woman was applauding that Trump should take it away because the people who profit most from that are the white folks who come and handle it, and the black African politicians who get a few bucks in complicity. You with me?
Yes.
So you have it on a large scale in Africa, and we have it in a smaller scale here. I mean, what we should have done, and here we go again, shoulda, woulda, coulda. I mean, Arthur Lewis prayed that, okay, the Federation failed. The coming together of all these Caribbean territories failed. But he still prayed that it is inevitable, it's going to happen. Once Compton, Barrow, and that generation of leaders had passed away, that inevitably the Caribbean would have to come together. Otherwise, we die. So they would have to come together. So imagine if the whole region was one mass with one plan, success, and everything. But of course, that is dreaming. That ain't going to happen because every guy wants to be the emperor of his own particular shithole. You know, we want to be. We all want to be the emperor of a shithole. You know, shithole emperors. So that is, and we are tolerating it. St. Lucians have to rebel against that, or we are dead. There's no reason we should be worrying so much about Trump and his tariffs. Why aren't we producing enough fruit so that everybody can go and buy fruit as a regular thing, as used to happen in my day? Why aren't we planting any more things in our backyards? Why aren't we doing that? Why is it we can no longer promise each other, promise to have fresh fish, lunch, and so and so? Why? Because we allowed the Koreans back in the day to come with their nets and sweep out our fishing area, which would, and everything would go for another 5 years. You know that.
I mean, Rick, that's definitely a lack of foresight, you know. It is a serious lack of foresight.
Corruption, Tim. We don't call it foresight, that's being too generous. The politicians are corrupt. We invite people who we know are corrupt outside, and we invite them inside where they are now in control of billions and in control of you. And it's amazing the quality of person who write on Facebook, the garbage they write, maypooing each other. I don't know why maypooing St. Lucia is such a fantastic weapon. Or you went to bed with 10 men. What the hell cares how many men a woman goes to bed with, or how many women are men? But they know that they can go on TV or they can put on Facebook and create a whole disgusting life for you. And even if you know it's not true, you're scared shitless, Tim. Scared, so you don't talk anymore. You keep quiet, and meanwhile, the politicians dole out a little $10 here, $10 here, and walk away with millions. Why is it we don't have an answer to everything about our CIP? Why? The mere fact of not knowing everything we should know about the CIP is disastrous, Tim. The mere fact that we are behind, not up to date with the operations of the CIP or with the finances of the country, tells you something is very, very wrong. It by itself, just not knowing something is very wrong. Bloom Cooper pointed out that we can never fight, so did George Odlum. We can never fight crime effectively on our own or parties and lines. And the OACS have to come together and create all those things. He gave the ideas. None of them. We want the crime. We live up the crime, Tim. So, you know, it is disgusting, man, that we remain slaves to the white man. That's another version of slave to the white man, you know. Trump is the white man, and our landlords, what we put in charge, are his foremen. And we are still the slaves on our little plantations, just scrunting and fighting one another. That's what we're good for. Jesus Christ. That's embarrassing even to think about it, Tim. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for calling. Amanda, a lot to chew on and also a lot to go through in terms of the comments in the chat room. Let's find out what is happening there.
Tim and NewsSpin says, good day, Tim. An incident recorded this morning at the Sufre Terminal at the Sufre terminal. A minibus driver threatening a passenger with a knife. This is not the only incident with this driver, with numerous incidents and reports lodged against him. However, the executive of the Minibus Association refuses to take action against this particular individual.
And I saw this video. It's being in circulation over the last few hours, and it is scary. I was afraid to watch it in its entirety, thinking that somebody would have gotten hurt. That it had really escalated, but thankfully it did not. So the relevant authorities, the National Council on Public Transportation, please intervene. My good friend Godfrey, please get involved in this. Try to address this particular matter, because this for me was very frightening just to watch it. It certainly is something that should not be swept under the carpet. Any more comments?
Continuing, a commentary reads, the taxi drivers are fine, do not cry for them, Tim. A NewsSpinner says here, PJP, please tell us what is the IMF's advice to you in response to the tariffs Trump has placed on countries around the world. Another comment reads, yes, I saw her commentary video where she explained that African citizens would not be affected by the U.S. stopping aid, but the politicians would. Someone says there, where are the foods we used to produce? Where are the feeder roads to the farms? Farmers cannot walk to the farm to produce those foods. A commentary reads, I've been to Asia and the number of tropical fruits available there pales in comparison to what the Taiwanese have made available to us. A NewsSpinner says that if CARICOM was serious, we would be better off in this time. Unity is needed at this time. Another commentary reads, Rick, what you're saying has truth to it. However, the reality now is that whatever America does with tariffs has an impact globally. There's no debating that. Someone says that CARICOM is so ineffective, it has long become a talk. Okay, I read that already. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you so much. Let me say good afternoon to Patra. I know you always listen to the program. Good afternoon to you. Here's hoping everything is okay. Also, good afternoon to Brother Harris. So while we have not heard from you, here's hoping that you are listening to the broadcast and you are healthy. WhatsApp message, somebody says that, Tim, not courtesy taxi, it is holiday taxi. Thank you so much for that. Let me see if I have another WhatsApp message. Tim, Rick, it's so right. We think alike. St. Lucia is decaying fast. And let's see if we have another WhatsApp. Let's take a call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air. Hello. Good afternoon.
Good day.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you, caller.
Finally. Tim, I have no issues with, well, not that I don't have issues with Rick, but you see, one thing about me, you see, when somebody comes out as an advocate, I usually look out for leadership. So over the years, Rick have been saying a lot. I agree with him on almost all of his points, but Rick is even more vocal now as he's having more difficulty in walking. So definitely you cannot look to him to lead anything right now. I'm thinking he should have been really doing what he's doing now, even long before. And he needs to call out the politicians for what they are and exactly what they are doing, and don't try to put both of them on the same thing, because whilst you get the same thing on both sides, you get the same issues sometimes. But everybody is different, and he knows the issues, he knows what they are doing, and he's afraid to call them out for what they are. And that's just my opinion. But Tim, on the other issue, last year I spoke about that, and this year it's already been advertised. Flow having issues. I don't know what's wrong with Flow these days, but you having full bars and somehow your calls breaking up. But we have our sporting facilities, Tim, especially the ones that was built underneath the last administration with the artificial turf. The Jazz Committee keep on going on those turfs, Tim, with the jazz festivals. And what they are doing, they are installing those tents on the turf. You know what it does? It creates an impression in the turf after, the weight comes down on it. Now that alone is a problem when people are playing football on that turf, team. They also, in some areas, they did it in Deriso, where they pass on the turf with vehicles, team. That is also destroying the turf. Okay? Not just that, but they had bars, Tim. They did not restrict people. You know, like some people doing certain things, they will sell you drinks in glasses.
Yeah.
They did not do that. They sold drinks in bottles, Tim. So you find what was happening. Or after these events were over, players got cut, got injured on those surfaces, Tim, through broken glass. How can this administration take that event and set it up on those turf, Tim, the very same turf that they said was giving people cancer? So are they trying to kill a mass of St. Lucians by having those events there, because that is giving people cancer, as they said? You understand? Tim, we need to call on the authorities, and the sports councils in the different communities need to stand up, though they've been fueled by those very same politicians. But young people especially need to stand up and stand against that thing, because you cannot have those events on those playing fields where you cannot afford to. In fact, if you have it, you need to have one of those huge vacuums, Tim, that you can clean those surfaces after you have the event. Because you cannot tell me you have an event and people are getting cut, okay, stoppers, broken glass, everything on going in between the artificial grass, Tim. You cannot do that.
What is the problem? Because I thought we had gone past that stage where people were serving items in breakable bottles.
You fought. But that was not the case last year, Tim.
It is still happening?
That was not the case last year, because I'm telling you, there were broken glass on the playing field last year in Dairy So. Okay? Persons got a complaint about getting cut because they did not clean the field. They did not. These bottles should have never gone on the field. You understand? And I am seeing that everything is coming up again. Okay? The same thing again. You understand? I have a problem with it, because you cannot hold those events and have vehicles passing on the turf, Team. Just imagine you playing football and then you find your feet going down on the side of an impression that was created by the tent or the vehicle's tires, Team. What do you think will happen? We cannot have that.
You'll be injured.
You can't tell me you spent so many millions of dollars on turf, and because it was you. Because it wasn't you who did it. You going out to destroy it. And like I said the last time, the phone was breaking up. You telling me, especially in Viewport North, you spending millions of dollars putting lights on a playing field, you cannot have anything national on it, but school children, preschool sports alone you can have on that. You understand? Whilst you have other playing fields that you need to upgrade and make it look like something that you're not doing it, that can hold national and international matches if you have to. You understand? The Viewport playing field, the stands is in a mess. You have to look for pieces of metal falling all on your head while you're there, Tim. You understand? And Kenny now talking as if somebody had to come and do something for him. When you had 30 years there, you didn't do anything much for the people to shout about. Anyway, Tim.
All right, sir.
Have a good day.
All right, thank you so much. Let's find out what's happening in the chat room and say again, good afternoon to you, Amanda.
Tim and NewsSpin says our CIP needs to be stopped now and reorganized. Another comment reads, PJP removed a man from forestry and made him Minister of Agriculture. Now all farmers have turned into forestry officers. A NewsSpinner says if Trump's action cannot bring us together as a people, more so as a region, then we are doomed as for politics. It will always be us and them. And I have been saying this for more than 15 years now. Another comment reads, CARICOM is slowly becoming like the UN, no real representation given when it's needed. Someone says, I hope the SLP takes this more seriously. The Prime Minister doesn't want reporters to ask him questions and he's always laughing. Now is the time to get serious. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you so much. Let's take a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you are on the air. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. How are you today?
I'm okay, caller. How about you?
I'm very good, Amanda. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, caller.
Tim, let me just speak a little on the budget. I think Richard Frederick in the House proved that he was independent this last budget for the first time by not speaking in the budget. And we expect, if you're an independent candidate, for you to be of the opinion that you're going to speak against or whatever is in the budget that does not fit what your plans for the country is. So in those regards, I think he played the independent role. However, it's my opinion that Ernest Hiller did not support the budget by not speaking at the budget on that day. Because when you look at what Kenny Anthony said, he gave the budget a bit of licks. Ernest Hiller is one of Richard Frederick, Ernest Hiller is one of Kenny's favorite persons. So I figured he was going on the same route with Kenny by not supporting the budget 100%. That's why he did not speak at the budget. That's the only thing I can interpret from him not speaking. Alan Shastley not speaking at the budget. To me, he would have just opposed what was said in the budget, and it would be nice to hear his views. But the most important thing are those persons charged with the different ministries, especially Ernest Hiller, with all these big ministries, the CIP, the tourism, and all these big ministries that he holds. He should have said something at the budget. So I'm from my vantage point, I'm thinking that he had nothing good to say in the budget. He did not support the budget. That's why he did not come out and speak on the budget. People may interpret it different, but that's my interpretation of it. Now, Tim, I want to move on to the other thing. Tim, what happened to all our gas station attendants? They're not going to get somewhere to live anymore. Because Richard Frederick said that they were going to build they had a housing development in Cul-de-sac that was going to house all those persons to be able to afford a home. What has happened to that? Because he said that it was in the making. The plans were already being drawn and construction would have started since last year or year before. What has happened to that, Tim?
Well, I don't know. The minister will have to address that issue. I'm not aware what is the latest.
On that side, so I don't know if the building is up, and I just don't have the knowledge that it's up.
No, it's not up, but the minister, I'm sure, will take the opportunity to explain at some point in time. He has a platform that he can utilize to explain this to the people of this country.
Tim, it started off with 10 million that was given to the country to create better housing conditions for persons. One would have thought that those monies would have gone to a project that we could have seen. Up to now, we don't have an account of that $10 million, what it went through, where it was spent or who it was spent on. Tim, this is how our country is being run. And I remember maybe 2 years ago when I asked you for those CIP reports, ask the government to give out these CIP reports. You see today what the results of these CIP reports are? You see, we have to get it from America, how many passports were sold, or when they go venture outside of St. Lucia to tell us how many passports were sold. Tim, isn't that our business? Shouldn't we know how many persons are going to be our neighbors, how many persons are going to be traversing our roads, not as tourists, but as citizens of St. Lucia? Isn't it important that we get to know these things?
It goes without
Tim,
saying.
I think this Labour government is just taking us for a ride. And we have to put an end to it. And we're not saying that we have to put an end to it by waiting for election to put this government out. We need to start demonstrating that we need more, because while they stay in government, they'll continue to do the very same thing if we don't stand up and ask and demand of them better treatment towards the things that they're gonna do while they're in government. They still hold the keys to the fort, They're still gonna be making decisions on our behalf, and we'll wait when they call elections for us to put a stop to it. You know how much it will cost the country by then, Tim? We need to get more serious, because especially now, we don't have any other places to go and live. America is running behind everybody. Canada is saying, okay, you can come, but these are the conditions. You are a citizen of St. Lucia, and you're accepting that garbage from your government, and you feel comfortable with that. And there are still persons who tell you, oh, guys, I see the government working. Where's the government working, Tim? Working to destroy. They're just destroying what was built and causing more destruction in what that's left of what they have not destroyed. That's the work. Tim, I think St. Lucians need to wake up and smell the coffee and understand that the longer this government remains and does not account to us, is the more dangerous it gets, and the more frightened we get, and the less we can speak in our country. Tim, I thank you very much.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for calling. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. And as we stated earlier on, the island has recorded yet another homicide. We have an update coming from Sharice John of the St. Lucia Fire Service.
On Wednesday, April 2nd, 2025, the St. Lucia Fire Service responded to an emergency call at 7:58 p.m. for a gunshot wound incident at Cooley Town. On arrival at the scene, an adult male was found in a supine position on the ground. On assessment, he presented negative vitals. It was observed that he sustained multiple penetrating wounds about the body. He was pronounced dead at the scene by a medical doctor. The scene was handed over to police officers attached to the Major Crimes Unit.
And the island's latest murder victim has been identified as 31-year-old Kate Jabatis, also known as Cape of Dare Lagoon over in Jacmel. And the incident occurred, as you heard earlier on, in Cooley Town in Marigot. This is the most monitored talk show in the world, NewsSpin, on Power 97.9 FM. We are also on the NewsSpin Facebook page as well as the NewsSpin YouTube channel.
Lucilec's remote options are available to serve you every weekday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. daily. Call or send a WhatsApp message to 285-6796, 285-7859, 285-3593, or send an email to customersupport@lucilec.com for assistance. Lucilec encourages you to use the available options for doing business with us remotely.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Here's a fun fact. In just 29 seconds, you can say goodbye to paper bills forever. Seriously, in 29 seconds. That's less time than this ad. Head over to discoverflow.co or visit us in-store and update your contact information now. By October 1st, your bills will be digital, easy to access, secure, and hassle-free. So what are you waiting for? This ad still has 2 seconds left, and you could have already gone paperless.
St. Lucia, KFC has the crunch with our all-new strips and dip. 3 crispy, golden brown chicken strips, hot fries, a buttery biscuit, a refreshing 16-ounce Coca-Cola, all for $25. Hurry to KFC and dive into the dip life today.
Dip, dip, and dip. Your chicken strips in no dip, 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 and dip. Barbecue buffalo dip, ranch, honey mustard dip. KFC got all dips.
Order now at kfcslu.com or WhatsApp 484-0400. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Stop. How much more pain can you take? Back pain, blinding headaches, numbness, weak knees, spinal injuries, stroke. You've tried everything. Nothing works. Enough. La Clinique du Corps has the experts and technology to diagnose and fix the problem permanently. Our specialist doctors use cutting-edge solutions to treat back pain, knee pain, sciatica, stroke recovery, spinal injuries, arthritis, heel pain, and more. With advanced pain management techniques, we provide fast, effective relief so you can live pain-free. La Clinique du Corps is an approved universal healthcare service provider in St. Lucia, accepting all approved insurance. Take back your life. Call La Clinique du Corps right now at 451-6559 to book your appointment. Pain stops here.
Need more days of savings? MNC Home Depot and Sunbelt Super Saturday of Savings has just been extended to Sunday. Take advantage of amazing deals. This weekend, MNC Home Depot and Sunbelt are offering you amazing discounts on selected items. MNC Home Depot and Sunbelt Super Saturday of Savings has been extended to Sunday. Don't miss out on the incredible discounts and deals. See in-store, Facebook, or www.mnchomedepot.com for more details. Terms and conditions may apply. better value for better.
Taco Thursdays at Senior Snapper from Thursday, 13th February 2025 and every Thursday.
St. Lucia, your Thursdays just got a whole lot better. After work, there's only one place to be. Taco Thursdays at Senor Snapper Seafood Grill and Margarita Bar.
In Cruisley Town, that is Marie Therese Street.
Live DJ, fresh tacos, and island vibes. What more do you need? Tacos for just $10 plus 2-for-1 margaritas and mojitos to keep the good times flowing.
Thursdays is Taco Thursdays at Senor Snapper.
On Easter Sunday, when the sun rises in the west, so will the vibes. Rise 5 in Citrus. Rise 5 in Citrus. April 20th, Soufre Mini Stadium. From 3 p.m. featuring Imran Nerdy, Arthur, Shemi J, DYP, plus St. Lucia's biggest DJs, plus Soca Sensation Hyper Sounds. Hyper Sounds. Voice of the one, Hyper Sound. Tickets are $120, available at all sell outlets, Mambo's Bar in Soufre, and online at fourcircletickets.com. More at the door. Platinum sponsor, Court St. Lucia. Gold sponsors, Bank of St. Lucia, Hotel Chocolat, Hennessy, Bounty Rum, JP Chenet, and KFC. Bronze sponsor, Heineken, Power 97.9 FM. Media sponsor, Liberty Media. Rise 5 in Citrus. On Easter Sunday, we rise.
Also sponsored by Blue Waters and Angostura Chill.
Given what is likely to happen if the President of America carries out his original pronouncements. So if a container goes up by $4,000 coming out of Miami, you know the duty is calculated on the CIF, cost, freight, and insurance. So all of a sudden you may buy the product at the same price in the market, but when it arrives here, the price is up by about 50% just because of the freight. Because if the ship carrying the goods was manufactured in China, and that is where I have the difficulty, the government does not understand the global environment that we are living in. We are hearing nothing from the Minister of Foreign Affairs on all this geopolitical stuff. Have we had one address to the nation? I heard the Prime Minister saying, oh, they didn't send so many St. Lucians back. It's just 5 or how many St. Lucians they send back. So, and I agree with him. We have to accept our St. Lucians. But are we aware that part of the policy of America is for them to give you some reprieve, is that you have to take in some of the people that they want to deport, even if they are not from your country? What is the discussion that is taking place in Washington? So when I see these things happening, and I see a reduction in the allocation for agriculture, I see a reduction in the area of the people who are most needy, I have to be concerned. Because yes, you may see it as 6 million, but what we may need is another 20 or 25 million in the agricultural sector, so that the cost, we can subsidize our farmers to produce more, so there will be less dependence on imports from America. Look at what Canada has done. Look at the approach Canada has taken to address these concerns. Buy more Canadian products. How are we going to buy more agricultural products if the products are not available in St. Lucia? So you would expect the Ministry of Agriculture to come up with a comprehensive program and say, hey, look, we want everybody to be involved in a certain amount of farming so there is less importation. The feed we use, the chickens, all of the things we are doing. We are so dependent on the US market. And I want persons to understand, if America, we're looking, maybe the government is thinking Panama can be the new hub. But if Trump sticks to what he's saying, what are you likely to have if they go and take over the Panama Canal as they have indicated? So there are lots of headwinds coming towards us. And we are hearing nothing from our government. There is no level of comfort. Because this $1 million levy on each ship is additional to what you are paying already, you know. And like I tell you, 350 containers is the maximum that comes in on a ship. So how are we going to deal with that?
Deputy Political Leader of the Opposition United Workers' Party, Mr. Guy Joseph. Let's continue with your calls. 4522979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. WhatsApp message reads, "Good day, Tim. I'd like to know what has the people of Warden Jacmel done to our rep. Imagine they fixed the potholes from Roseau to Varna and did not enter Jacmel. Mr. Wayne Gerard, you're neglecting us. Little do you know this will cost you." The person continues to keep on saying that part didn't make you win. Even during the baton relay, you never walked there. Mr. Wayne Gerard, we are vigilant. Only time will tell. We have a call on the line. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you're on the air.
Hi, good afternoon, Timothy.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon to you.
Timothy, I just want to say, there are a lot of things that are happening in this state. We have ministers, we have parliamentary reps, we put pressure on organizations like the police force, but we do not always give them the tools. Now, I remember some time ago, we made a big fuss, the Prime Minister especially made a big fuss about giving the police equipment and giving them the things that they need for their jobs. Are you aware that in Lavery, we have had no police vehicle for 3 months?
Wow.
3 months. We've been waiting and observing, and no police vehicle for 3 months. In the event anything happens anywhere and the police have to go up there, there is no police vehicle. So while we're talking and we are saying we're making resources available, and we castrate, literally vilify, pillory the police welfare officer, Mr. Law, for speaking out on behalf of his officers, the government of St. Lucia has not seen it fit to provide Lavery with a police vehicle, not even a bicycle, for over 3 months. There's more to come.
So they're relying on transportation from the other areas like VA4 and Choiseul.
I do not even want to hazard a guess as to what happens when the police need a vehicle, because if anything, a police officer has to go out on a call and they use their private vehicle and something happens, the responsibility is all theirs.
Mm-hmm.
It's all theirs. So I do not even want to hazard a guess as to what it is the police do when they have to make a run somewhere outside of the village center, because you can patrol on foot within reason.
Yeah.
But when you have areas like Vance, Majomel, La Grasse, you have Auger to patrol. How do you do that without a vehicle? And there is only one station. There's no depot or substation anywhere in the constituency. So I have been monitoring it, and I am now at the point where I'm doing more investigation into what happens when there is a call for assistance from the Lavery police. But we have had no vehicle for 3 months. That is not right. When we are yapping, we're providing jet skis. We can provide jet skis, but we cannot even provide a bicycle in a constituency.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much. Just out there from Laura Jean-Pierre, we have a WhatsApp message. What is going on in St. Lucia? Creators Alliance makes a clean getaway. Persons lose their money, but those on top enjoying the honey. Plenty cash made, no accountability. St. Lucia is in serious trouble. People are still waiting for answers. Who is responsible for recovering monies invested? And let me see if I have another WhatsApp message. Tim, can you tell Dr. Kenny Anthony to ask King to fix the roads at Cedar Heights, please? Well, I just did that. And we have another WhatsApp message. Okay, let's see there. Another person says there via WhatsApp. Okay, so the person continues, we cannot take it. So the person says, Tim, can you tell Kenny to ask King to fix the roads at Cedar Heights, please? We cannot take it. Let's see another WhatsApp message. I just heard a guy talking about agriculture. I would like to know what Ezekiel Joseph did for farmers during the last tenure of the United Workers' Party. Anybody, somebody, please call and tell us. We have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Hi, good day, Tim. Good afternoon, everyone.
Hi, good afternoon to you, Mr. Roche Clark.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm okay. How about
Tim, want to bring to the attention of everyone something that is continuously happening, something that is currently happening, and it's affecting the city right now. And it is impossible at this point for us to ignore. The vendors who were once given the temporary space to operate are now being stripped from the space without any alternative solutions.
That's which area?
It's an issue.
Which area? From which area?
The vendors in front, the market vendors, those that were actually placed at the location of the demolished fire station.
Okay, on Jeremy Street.
It's a real issue, and these people have been working really hard to make an honest living. And again, it's not just the vendors. Right now, we're being told that, Tim, 80 taxi drivers who each pay about $100 a day are also being hit. You have an additional, I'm not a mathematician, but you have an additional $8,000 a day. My question is, where is this money going to and what it's being used for? It's not about just the vendors and the taxi drivers. We have 80 families that are being impacted by just being relocated without any alternative issues and alternative locations. Right now, the tail end of tourism in this season, we have 2 large cruise ships in port. And when these taxi drivers went out, they're telling me that the mayor that they went to for help have told them that there is nothing she can do about it. And the outcry is growing louder. And frankly, it's becoming impossible for several individuals in the city to ignore. People are getting frustrated. And they deserve the answers. Not once again, nothing is being said. Nothing is being done. We cannot keep letting these issues slide where people are struggling, and it is time for us to hold this government and the ministers that are currently in power accountable. I wanted to make this as a donation just before the show ended.
Okay, caller. Thank you so much for your contribution. The United Workers' Party candidate for Castries Central, Mr. Roche Clark. 4522979. Let's see if we have a call on the landline. In the meantime, let me see if I could go through a WhatsApp message. Somebody says there, Tim, I'm still awaiting from a well-known insurance company in Rodney Bay area, to process my medical claims. It's been months now, but not a word, not a word, not a word. And let me see if I have another WhatsApp message. It says there, call it and hold your breath on the turf issues. It was said by the sports minister that no event, if it's not that of sports, would be taking place at the Darren Sammy Cricket Ground a few months after the good friend held his event right there and has been since. So what do you expect? And that is a WhatsApp message. One more WhatsApp message. Okay. All right, let's see there if we have another one. Tim, it says that Tim, as an organizer of such events, I support the gentleman and we give protection of the sporting field a priority. Another WhatsApp message. Let's see if it's coming. No, we don't have any more of your messages. I'm going to turn my attention now to your NewsSpin question of the day. The NewsSpin question of the day reads, how do you think the PJP government will respond to Trump's tariff spree? How do you think the Philip JP administration will respond to Trump's tariff spree? And finally, our NewsSpin news of the day. The NewsSpin news of the day reads, the U.S. bans government personnel in China from romantic or sexual relations with Chinese citizens. The United States bans government personnel in China from romantic or sexual relations with Chinese citizens. That's a broadcast. Thank you so much for watching and listening to another edition of the world's most monitored talk show, NewsSpin, of course. My name is Timothy Poleon. Please join us tomorrow afternoon, same time at 12:30. Goodbye.